by now. So this is just this is going to be a video with I'm going to open up this box of cards that was shipped to me from a remote shipping address after accumulating for a few months, and I've been holding back from opening it. So I got my buddy Joe with me. We're going to hang out tonight for a little bit, and I'm going to open up this box of cards and show you guys what's inside. It's a bit of I guess it's a bit of a what have I been buying video, because don't really do that on the channel, on the show. And figured now's a great chat, and now's a great opportunity. So let's see what we got here. We got some bubble wrap. We'll reuse that. That will come in handy, as will that. Okay, here's the first mini package. And there's one more. Another one. So pretty much slabbed cards. There are some non-slabbed cards here, but so this is stuff that's been accumulating for me for some time, and some of these cards I've been really looking forward to receiving. I'm not even exactly sure, Joe, what's in here. You know, like it's I have an idea. I'll recognize all the cards, but I kind of make a point of not looking back at my purchase history to see what's going to eventually come. I want it to be fun again. So I am looking at one card right now. Okay. Oh, we got people here. We got people. That's cool. Right on. Welcome, guys. Okay, so this is the box that I've been talking about, and I've held off until right now to open it, and I thought now's a great time. Me and Joe were chatting earlier. It's like, hey, do you want to do this? He's like, sure. Okay. So here we go. Card number 1, 1999 Skybox EX in a PSA 9 holder, Vince Carter Exceptional Red.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice card, right?
Super nice. Goes really well with the PSA holder too. Wow.
I don't understand. Like jambalayas are I love them too. They're, to me, they're the original, but this, with the lenticular effects, these people don't really know about these. Well, I guess whoever's watching now might, but I think these are just spectacular looking cards, and good price. Next card, 1997-98 Pinnacle Artist's Proof, Wayne Gretzky. This is in a BGS 9.5 holder.
Ooh.
So just a nice 90s Gretzky insert parallel. Already graded. Grading's you're not getting any cheaper. So there's a 10, 2 9.5s, and a 9 on that. All right, next card. See, these are the ones that's like, this goes back a while. So this is a Pokemon haul that I bought, and I don't even know what these cards are worth anymore. I'm not following them, but now I will, because they're in hand and I'll see what's going on. But the first one, 1999 Pokemon game Venusaur Hollow PSA 9. So not Shadowless, not first edition, just the basic. The Alakazam PSA 9. Again, I don't even know how to say it. Gyarados. This guy, the butterfly, Yanma. This guy. It's like I bought these so long ago, and I'm like, I've lost interest for the most part. I really have. Charmander. So we'll see. I do think some of them are cool though. Like this is a cool card, and I went back and I watched one of the movies. I think it was Mewtwo, Return of Mewtwo, who is the guy that comes out of this guy. And I thought that was the coolest character that there was. And the Umbreon, I thought that was a cool looking card. So anyway, we got those here now. I don't think that I don't know. I got to talk to Karn, see what he says, see what Ralph says. These are my, those are my Pokemon guys, and we'll figure it out from there. But let's get to some more sports cards. So this is, what's in here? No special story so far about these cards, really. Just the 2 cool cards, and then all the Pokemon. So here's a 2018-19 O-Pee-Chee Platinum Black Rainbow Evgeny Malkin out of 25. Sorry, Evgeny Malkin, Alex Ovechkin. What am I saying?
Ovechkin. Nice.
Ovechkin.
Wow.
And somebody stuffed those in to, I guess, protect the card.
Thank you very much.
Next up.
How far back does this stretch, Jeremy? Is this like
some of these?
2
So
months?
some of these cards were in the PWCC vault since June, I guess, or July. Like, or no, the Pokemon cards they were June or July that I bought those.
So it's that phenomenon of knowing that you really liked it at some point, but maybe, do I remember everything? And getting some happy surprises that.
Well, exactly, man. Some of these cards I don't remember that they're coming. Of course, I see them. It's like, oh yeah, great. But I try to forget about them so that when they come, it's like super, super much more fun. Okay. These cards were a gift from a guy, Jim Fredbear on Hobby Insider. This is a set that I've been working on since these cards came out in 2002. And they're all the retrofractor, they called them. And they're numbered out of 667, so that it's from Topps Heritage, and they are, of course, look like the 66, 67 Topps hockey set. So these three are towards the set. It's a 105 card set or something, and I'm down to now needing like 2 after 20 years. These 3 get me down to 2, and he just contacted me. He has another one for me, the Lindros. So that's really cool. All right, next card, eBay purchase. It's a beautiful card. It's jersey numbered. It's of the guy that if there's one player that I collect several players, but this is the player whose cards I have the most of, Dale Howard-Chuck. This is an Upper Deck 2017-18 Premier Super Rookie. It's a tribute card, 10 of 49. 3-color patch, Winnipeg Jets jersey original. And it's jersey numbered. That's a cool touch.
Absolutely. Now, when you say jersey numbered, is he number 10? Is that what you're saying? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
10 of 49. He wore number 10.
That's awesome. Yeah.
All right. What's next? Let's see. Here's this guy finally scored his first goal for the Vancouver Canucks. This is from 2018-19 Upper Deck Ice Sub-Zero Rookie Gold out of 24. Elias Pettersson. These are cool cards. They're not as cool in the years after the more recent year that the one that they just did, the 1920s. They weren't as cool, but these ones are super cool because the stock changed. Okay, let's do another Gretzky card. So this is the 1994 Leaf Fire on Ice in a PSA 9 holder. Ooh. Really cool card. And, so affordable relative to what we're seeing right now. Haven't even been looking at. Let's say hi. Let's say hi to everybody, Joe. I've been so distracted by the mail day. We got Chris. We got Charles. He must be having some were there technical difficulties? Oh, because we started a couple minutes late. Yeah, bonus. What's up, Legion? Hey, Bobby, Joe Pavelski on fire like Tyler Toffoli. Bobby, Seb, what's going on? Joe, you shaved. That's right. Siggy Palfy, PSA 11s. Wouldn't that be fun? Taking Edmonton, Jordan. Hey, what's happening? 90s. All right, guys, kick down. Dennis, hello. Good to see you. Wayne, oil drop. Yeah, okay, because we're so behind already. Yam, how is it going? Okay, Troy Medina. Good evening, everybody. Not many cards left. There's 3, 6, but I did pick up a collection last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and I can show you guys quickly some of what's in there and stuff that I don't want to keep. So it's like, but well, we'll see. You'll see when we get to it. Okay, next card. Ooh, that's no good. Okay, that's better. It's a BGS card. The label, the flip had sunk out of its space. So this is a card that I was really looking forward to getting. This is a 2008-9 Upper Deck Ultra EX Essential Credentials Green, numbered 5 of 13, which is the inverse of the jersey number.
Ooh.
So this is Sidney Crosby.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is a card that I wanted really bad. And so
in the trajectory of his career, how far along is that one?
2008, 3 years in. His rookie year was 05-06. It's early.
Nice.
And it's the first year they did essential credentials in hockey. So
Solo numbered too.
Solo numbered. And I have the orange one out of 87 in the same holder.
Wow.
So that pairs them up, which is really cool. So yes, and I have that one already. So putting those together, I was really looking forward to this one.
Is it an acetate card? I'm
yeah, it's
wow.
die cut. It's die cut cardboard on acetate with foil,
which
as well.
That makes the 9.5 all the more impressive. I mean, those acetate cards, there's a lot of ways they seem to be able to go wrong from personal experience.
Surface and that, yeah. This is yeah, I'm super happy with that card. That's awesome. Okay, what's next? So I mentioned that there was some zagging going on because, kind of like thinking outside the box is what I consider that to be, which I try to do. So I'm going to just unwrap this from this slab is like wrapped in this green stuff. So this kind of goes nicely with the Vince Carter card. This is 2000 EX Exceptional Brett Favre Blue PSA 9. This card's numbered out of 100.
Wow.
That's really cool, right?
Super cool. And I didn't know the football streak. I mean, I know about your Josh Allen card who went down today, I guess, but Brett Favre
football cards
up there in the tundra.
Yeah, look at that. That's super wicked. Like, I don't know. It seems like I never see anybody talking about that card or this one here.
Well, you said the word lenticular. Is that what you said?
Lenticular.
What does that actually mean? I'm not.
Well, as it was explained to me, it's the effect of giving it that 3D effect.
Okay.
Like with the jambalayas.
Nice. Yeah.
It kind of it's the same sort of stock as far as I can tell. It's the same technology. Okay. I mentioned the Zags. So these are I've wanted one of these cards for many years and I just never got around. Then I forgot about them for a while, you'll understand. And then I'm like, oh yeah, those cards, I gotta get one. So I did a save search again. And I wanted to get a nice grade, like a 7, 8, or 9, let's say. The card's from 1952. I'll put that hint out there. If anyone wants to take a guess at what set this might be from, the card is from 1952. We'll let some guesses roll in.
Well, if it's hockey, I'm waiting on Charles. I'm sure he's
Jordan. It's not Ziggy Palffy. It's Zaggy Palffy. I like that. Sport flick style. Yeah. Who is my NFL team if I have one? I don't really. I right now I was hoping for Buffalo because I have a really cool Josh Allen card. So that was my NFL team for as long as I have that card. And I said about it when I got it that because I got the card as a in the swag package from the Beckett Industry Summit. That's how I got it. So I just paid my admission to the event, and that's what came back along with some other things. And it's a really cool. Here, I'll show you guys. It's a really cool card. If you haven't seen it, it's right here. This card here. It's a 101. Game used. It's game used. Like, that's sick, right? So he didn't win today, but that's all right. It's still a really cool card.
Yeah.
But I was hoping for him. So do I have an NFL team? Not really. Like my dad's a Vikings fan. So, we're from Winnipeg originally, north, we're only 8 hours from Minneapolis. So anyway, so this card that I'm going to show, I hadn't seen a nice one in a while. A PSA 6 came up, so I bought it. And then like literally a few days later, a PSA 8 came up. And I was like, oh, that one's really nice too. So I bought it too. So I can't wait. Let's see if we have any guesses here. We got a Mantle Tops PSA 10. Yeah, that's coming out right now for sure. Wheaties Mike and great guess, Yamax. No. Old Man Withers soap card. No, but maybe the closest guess yet. Bowman, Parkey of Gordie Howe. Okay, so that's cool. So here's the card. You guys aren't expecting this. This is a 1952 Look and See Billy the Kid.
Ooh.
Billy the Kid.
Getting some Americana there, pop culture.
I kid you not. I kid you not. Billy the Kid. And
what's the issue again?
1950. It's a Topps card. It's a Topps. It's called Look and See. It's a large set of all sorts of historical figures.
Okay.
But this is, I mean, that's just awesome. Come on. So that was the Zag I was referring to. I was super excited because I wanted one of those cards there's a Queen Elizabeth in the set that I've had for a long time, and I still have it.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. So that makes me curious what else, what other characters they have in the issue. And it's always
check it out. Do an eBay search because you'll see it's a really broad checklist. Like there's a lot of genres covered, a lot of different historical figures. Okay, 3 more cards. This is a 1998 Skybox Thunder Noise Boys.
Oh yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal. My first Noise Boys from 1998. Shaquille O'Neal, PSA 9.
Yeah,
so sick, so nice.
I really need one of those. I've been looking at a Marbury just to kind of get in on something, but yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any other issues from that?
That's my first. I have Noise Boys from the 12-13 Ultra.
The retro.
The retro.
Yep.
The hockey. So I've got lots. I've got a handful of those. But that's my first from the 98 Skybox basketball.
Yeah.
And it's Shaq. So
they're not slowing down. Good pickup there. That's probably my favorite up to this point. So
yeah, cool. Okay, 2 more cards. So these are the cards that the first one definitely has a story behind it. So I'll start with, there's a hockey card and a baseball card, and I bought both of these cards at the end of 2020. And the first card, I think I've talked about it, is what I think is, I don't know if it will be anymore, but a super undervalued card because of just the situation it's in. So I'll show you guys the card. This is a 1980 Topps Ray Bourque rookie. 1980 Topps Ray Bourque rookie. PSA 10.
Ooh, 10.
10.
10.
So this card is a 7. There's 7 in the population. So I saw the card come up. It was a PWCC sale. It even came with this certificate that they have saying that it's in the top 15%. So, assume they've seen all 7 of them. That's what they're saying. Whatever. I know people have their opinions on this. Doesn't matter. I wanted the card. Anyway, but if this is in fact true, and this is a pop 7, that makes this the nicest of the 7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for what it's worth. Okay. All right.
It sounds like a math problem. The 15% of 7 and how many left? Oh, 1. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So I recognize that and I thought, well, that's pretty cool because the O-Pee-Chee, there's 34 or 37 of them or 31, something like that. It's in the 30s.
Yeah.
And before I purchased this card, those two PSA 10 O-Pee-Chees had sold for $7,500 US. The PSA 10 O-Pee-Chees, 2 of them, like back to back. Mm-hmm. And the population is like 4.5 times what this population is, 4 to 5 times. So I thought to myself, what should this card be worth? Now I recognize that it's the Topps and it's not as desirable as the O-Pee-Chee. And I have an O-Pee-Chee copy in my collection, a PSA 9, which is beautiful as well. But the reason why this Topps card is like kind of a card that I would have in my collection is because this is one of the few years where Topps and O-Pee-Chee both came out, where there's kind of a reason, where there's a difference just between just the name Topps and O-Pee-Chee to the card being obviously the black scratch off surface to reveal the name.
So, yeah, I remember Charles explained that to me on your show, I think, and it looks really good with the purple black contrast there. It looks really fire on that card.
Yeah, right. So I saw the card for sale, and I'm like, well, what should that be worth if the O-Pee-Chee PSA 10 is selling for $7,500, and one was like 75, 77. What should the 10 sell for? And I thought to myself, well, not 4 to 5 times as much, but maybe 1.5 times as much, because obviously the O-Pee-Chee is still more desirable. But I think that's swinging, sort of. Not to say it will never not be the most desirable, but just to say that people are warming up to Topps cards. So this is one of the Topps cards. Is like I open my collection to it. The other ones would be the Wayne Gretzky rookie, the Mario Lemieux rookie, because of who and what those cards are, and then the Joe Sakic, because the Joe Sakic to me is the better of the two Sakic rookies, because of just production issues or strategies in that year. Okay, so there's that card. I think. Oh, and so what did I get it for? I've talked about it before, but just to be totally transparent on this card, because I think it's an interesting lesson. At least I do. So the card was at, like, call it $3,000, $3,200 when I placed my bid, and I bid $5,900, something like that, and I won the right to purchase the card for, I forget, $4,600, something like that. So $4,600 when the O-Pee-Chee, that there's 5 times as many as, was selling for $7,500. I valued the card at like $10,000 to $15,000, not what I paid for it. So to me, not even what, right? Like the O-Pee-Chee $7,500, it just made sense to me. So I think I got really good value for it, and I got it for a lot less than my maximum bid as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that 1980 inside tip, maybe go Topps. I think in the long run, you're already on to something, and it'll be interesting to see if other people catch on.
Well, and it's different, right?
Because of the scratch off. That was the point Charles was making. It's like, if you can find one that's not scratched off.
Yeah.
Because they would still, in theory, give a 9 or a 10 for one that had been scratched off. It's not like it marks the card down, or does
I'm
it?
actually not sure how they treat them if the black is scratched off, if there's a qualifier for that, or if they lower the surface grade. I'm not sure. I know that if I'm having this card, the black's got to be there, because I already have one without it.
The other question I had, is there anything, did PWCC put any sticker on the actual case to distinguish the top 15%? I feel like I've seen that in some instances.
They did. Yeah, there's a little sticker on the back there.
Well, yeah. How do you feel about that?
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me. I mean, at the end of the day, I can see, I've been watching PWCC auctions since they've been around, and like, I used to track them myself. I still have this spreadsheet. I was tracking vintage cards because I guess I wasn't aware of vintage card prices at the time, VCP, or I didn't want to pay for their fee. So I was tracking these things myself back in the late 00s, early 2000s. And by these things, I mean lots of different cards. It was a lot of work I was doing. But sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, we were just talking
distracted by the last card that I have to show.
That's the circumstance. We were talking about the sticker, which I'd be pretty.
Oh yeah. No, it doesn't bother me, and because they've seen so many cards, and like I said, I've been watching them for so long. They've had so many cards pass through their hands that the fact that they themselves came up with the idea of doing this with these special designations. I'm not as cynical about it as some people are, because I know they've seen a ton of cards. So I've seen people say, well, but no, they all have these things, when, maybe those are the ones that are being sold. Maybe those are the ones that people are listing. I don't know. for sure. But in any event, no, it doesn't bother me. I think it's all right. It's a second opinion, you know. It's what they think. I'm not going to take it off. I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, this card is a Ray Bourque rookie from 1980 in a PSA 10, and it's a Pop 7, where its counterpart, which is now there's one listed right now, it's over 13,000. So even an O-Pee-Chee. So even since I purchased this card, the O-Pee-Chee card has almost doubled in value.
Yeah. I mean, that's the interesting thing with the Gretzky too, is how much is the O-Pee-Chee sort of bringing up the tops, you know, and it's I think they've got to have some sort of reciprocal relationship there.
I think so. Well, I think so too, and I think that the reciprocal ratio is kind of out of whack right now. I think that that's all I'll say. I mean, obviously, I'm into the card. I've purchased it for my collection, but I also recognize that I feel it was a really smart investment, one of the smartest purchases I think I've made in a while. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Congrats.
That's it. I'm not trying to pump my card. No, I'm not trying to pump my card. I'm just saying, you know, I just laying it out there. Those are the facts of the situation. Okay, last card. Similar story on this card. It's the nicest of all of them that are out there based on the grade. So it's a BGS 9, and its subgrades are centering 9.5. The other 3 are all 9s. It's the nicest of all the subgrade 9s on the BGS population report, and there's none nicer. There's no 9.5s or 10s. PSA, the highest grade is 8.5. The card is 1999. It's numbered out of 50. It's from 1999. Skybox Premium. Star Rubies. Ken Griffey Jr.
Wow. Nice.
I think I'm biased towards this card. I think it's the nicest card he's ever had made. I just think it's amazing.
Yeah, the rubies just have a lot going on with them, and starting with that red, you know, foil logo up there. It's just like there's some heavy hitting corollaries there in the basketball world, to be sure. And to see a Griffey, a goat, and then the crazy hollow. Is it getting that little textured stuff going on the surface that's kind of like the ruby deal? Yeah,
it's got the ruby deal. It does.
Nice. And did you say
sorry, man, it's a slight embossing going on.
Yeah,
very slight embossing. Classy. I mean, here's the thing. The reason I'm onto a card like this is because it's, you know, the basketball card market is kind of driving the insert revolution. And it's been an ongoing revolution. But if this was a Michael Jordan card, it would be worth 20 times what this is worth. And that's fine. Maybe that's the correct ratio, you know, perhaps that's the way
it should be. If you could find it.
If you can find it. It's out of 50 from 1999. That's a rare card back then.
Totally. What out of 50? Is it? It's got a cool number, is it?
No, it doesn't. It's got an uncool number. Well, 31. It's not a cool number.
31 flavors.
Yeah.
So is the numbered, sorry for this minutia, but it's always interesting to me. Is it a sticker numbered, or is it actually printed into the card?
It's printed in right there.
Okay, cool. Huh. Nice. And last night, Brad, I think, was talking about the Griffey, his own interest in Griffey. And I think he was talking about Griffey's swing, you know, that quintessential smooth, just perfectly, you know, measured swing. And he was talking about some video game, I think, that he played as a kid. So
right.
I think Griffey's definitely benefiting from the recent GOAT surge. Yeah.
So, you know, here's one of the kind of things that I've been thinking about is that, you know, everything in the hobby's been going up in value. Everything, you know, Commons possibly, not obviously, but when we say everything, we mean cards of importance, cards that people are interested in for the most, not set collecting. And by set collecting, I mean base set collecting, unless you're talking about exquisite or cup. Anyway, I keep losing my train of thought because I'm distracted by all of these. It's like, when like, I guess it's almost like Christmas, right? You get a mail day and it's there and you're like, especially some cards are 6 months in the waiting.
Yeah. It's like taking stock and sort of, sometimes I'll go back after I get the cards and kind of like try and refresh my memory, price point, who I got it from, what the other, context was and the auction that I may not have recalled how they described it. It's because you can kind of lose track as it's an onward forward hobby. So it's like, oh yeah,
exactly. This card. Okay, here's the problem with this card. I'm gonna have to see, what do you do in this situation?
Well, I mean, if you can't do the little tap without hurting the slab, I mean, I suppose you could maybe see if Beckett would do a redo on it, but yeah. So you just got to keep it sort of snug as best you can.
Just leave it flat. At the end of the day, you ding it into place. I'll take it with me the next time I go to the National and I'll see what they'll do.
Yeah. No problem.
And then finally, some real, I don't even remember where these came from, but these are, Peachy Hockey. They've always put out some pretty cool insert sets, and they're, easy to collect. And this is the pop-ups. Mm-hmm. And they're like a tribute back to the, 1936 O-Pee-Chee pop-ups.
I'm thinking of the baseball ones back.
They did in baseball too.
37 or something. There's a Garrick and
37.
Everybody punches them out. I'm not sure on the year there, roughly, but those are super attractive cards there with the blue and the red.
They're really, it's Malkin and Kopitar, so easy cards. But I often pick up stuff like this on right off of ComC, and then just take a shipment from them, which I have one incoming right now as well. Okay, I mentioned earlier that, so that's it. That's it for the mail day. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I got a lot going on here, but I want to show you guys also this collection I bought. And if anybody knows anybody who might be interested in some of these cards, let me know, because I'm not sure that I want to travel with them to card shows, that kind of thing. So here they are. They're in binders. These are binder cards. First up, this is a binder of 19. I think this is 55 Topps baseball. Okay, stand up and just do a quick flip here.
Yeah, classic set.
There's some 70. What's that? 71 or 72?
71. Yep.
71, and then it turns into
the 55s.
Yeah. I will let y'all know that there's not a name in here that I'm familiar with. Maybe two, sort of thing. There's no stars in there at all. And then also in this collection were these binders. I don't know if anyone recognizes these. These are 22 karat gold baseball cards authorized by Major League Baseball. And it says Michael DePriest here. Not a name I'm familiar with. Then it says the Danbury Mint. So someone's got to have heard of the Danbury Mint. I'm just not that familiar with it. But in any event, this is a two-binder set. And these things are these things. And it's all Hall of Famers. So it's really a good checklist, but there's little nameplates even. So I don't know what these things are. If anyone knows what they are, can even put a value on them for me, know someone who's looking for them, let me know. I'll show you what one of these looks like closer. This is the Sandy Alomar Jr. It's just one I picked out randomly. They're in these little plastic cases that I've never really seen before for cards. They're bendable. They're not solid, that's for sure. Anyway, two binders full of those. I don't know. Haven't seen the comments for a bit, guys. I apologize. And then there was this binder, this is really cool. This is a 1976. I showed you this one. This is a 76-77 Topps basketball set, these are awesome cards.
Right.
There's 4 per sheet. They're big. These two here are creased right down the middle, the checklist and this Julius Erving All-Star. It's like they got these bends to them. Anyway, unfortunately for those 2 cards, the rest of the set is super clean though. Super clean. Like these cards are wicked. And you were mentioning some of the rarer ones. There was one guy who I'm not really familiar with. Which card was that?
Well, it's David Thompson, rookie card. He had a sort of shortish career, but Michael Jordan mentioned him in his Hall of Fame speech because he looked up to him. He played at David Thompson, one of the most spectacular leapers and dunkers of all time. And then, of course, Dr. J is in that set. So you saw the All-Star one, but you also have 2 of those, and then you got a couple Maraviches, and then the Kareem was looking pretty good too. You had a nice Jabbar.
Yeah, I actually pulled a couple of these cards out earlier today to see the condition. They're like mint condition, man. They're beautiful. Oh yeah, they are. Aside from the 2 on the front, they are really nice. Oh yeah, super neat. And I don't think I've never had a card from that set before. Oh, and then this is the last thing. These are all 1962 Topps baseball cards.
Okay, the old wood background there.
Yeah,
very nice, very nice. And that's the Bourque rookie card year, I believe.
Yeah. It's Lou Brock, Gaylord Perry. It's one more, I think. Is there not?
Who else is in? I don't know. I always think about the Bob Gibson, but it's certainly not his rookie year. But it's a tough Bob to find.
Yeah, the pink card. That's a beautiful card.
The rookie is the pink. The 62 there. I think it might be a Bob Gibson high number. But anyway, any stars in that one, or just?
There were, There's the Lou Brock came in it. Lord Perry, and there's also Johnny Bench rookie. This is a really cool collection. Just looking at some comments, I haven't been seeing the comments, guys. Apologize. Yeah, I see 1004. Yam says that's a special Shaq. So cool. Yeah, I love that Shaq. The Methuselah card, Eric Lindros, Blue Jay Cross Fusion. I remember that card. Unscratched Topps Puck. That's right, Ryan. That's right. Yeah, I thought it was super cool. Bobby Legion feels like the 13th month of 2020. That Bourque is a big card. I feel like that Bourque is a big card, guys. I feel like it's a pop 7. The Opeachy's got over 30, and it's different. And just made so much sense to me. Made so much sense to me from an investment perspective. It really did. But I'll tell you another secret. I was on to the Topps Joe Sakic rookies, the PSA 10s, which the pop was 17. While the Opeachy, I'm not sure, but it's probably well over a couple hundred. Maybe it's just well over 100. But I was onto those early, and the last couple have sold for like $3,000, and the ones I bought were like $650 or something like that. But that was a few years ago.
I feel like you were a little modest in the multiplier reckoning, and I think that's. It seems like it can cut both ways, especially when you get into that rare air of so few copies that actually exist. They can go, I think you said 1.5 to 3 or something, and it's like maybe more, maybe significantly more, because it starts to become, not to use the cliche one of one, but it starts to become something where there's only a few that exist, and so will you even have the opportunity to buy one if you want one?
There's only 7. Mine's locked away, right? And no, it's and like you just said, the fact that it was so tempting for kids to scratch that black patch off, that's what makes it even rarer. And now the values are being based on rarity, which is like dictated to the hobby for the most part through the population reports. And that's what's driving. I don't know. Is that what's driving the value? There's a lot of things driving the values, but that's one of the things that are definitely driving the values of the population reports. and helping the hobby understand. It's data, and that's what the hobby craves and wanted and now has. And there's obviously, and then there's that could go in a whole bunch of different directions. We won't go in those directions right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the absence of data, you're always left wondering how many and where do I stand with this. But when you actually have the specific data of what's known about the particular card in terms of, population reports, graded forms, that goes a long way to stabilizing value and allowing for that uptick to be pretty strong.
Well, that's where knowledge is very helpful, very important, for sure. That's incredible. Thanks, Charles. Yeah, wasn't planning to come on until about half an hour before Joe and I came on tonight. Big Daddy says, I can see Ray Bourque tops 10. Now it's turning into a show. I wasn't intending for it to turn into a show. Now it's turning into a show. Okay, let's just go through some comments, Joe. I can see Ray Bourque tops 10 being more rare. The temptation to scratch the pie. Of course, yes. That is a sweet card. Yes. The shame Messier wasn't in tops that year. I know. And that's kind of even makes the Bourque a little bit more maybe important or elusive or different as well. Yeah, the black is scratched off. Definitely a reduction in the grade. Yeah. I'd assume it would be a surface deduction. Makes sense to me. Another key to have is 72, 73 WHA Bobby Hall. Love your Joe. Wow. Thanks, Jordan. Bonkers. I agree. Yes, Troy. Solid mail date. I mean, you can see it's pretty diverse. I was a little, it's fun. It's weird. It's just weird how things work. I was going to do a video talking just about FOMO and, how it can work for you and work against you, and I was going to base it off of the Pokemon lot, because I didn't buy these out of FOMO when I bought them. I bought them before most people got FOMO on these. I got in a bit early on them. I mean, I could have got in earlier, of course, but I got in June of 2020 when these things took off in late August, September. They peaked in the middle of October, which wasn't the case for sports cards in the cycle we've gone through since then. But so yeah, they came in. I bought them because I saw what was happening with the Charizard, the first edition Shadowless, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna buy some of those regular cards because that's where people are gonna go when they're priced out of the big one. Mm-hmm. And I picked them up. I picked up 3 of them. I'll tell the story and I'll use real numbers. I bought 3 of them for $800 each. And before you knew it, they were $1,500, then $2,000, and they climbed really quickly to just over $5,000 each. And just like they climbed to just over $5,000 each, they came all the way back down to $15,000 to $2,000. So, right? So that's what happened to those. But anyway, I bought them, and even now they're hovering $15,000 to $2,000. Have been for a few months now. So at the end of the day, my investment in those is okay, but not if I would have got out of the peak. But I'm not smart enough to get out of the peak.
Well, and that's a new version of FOMO, right? It's the seller version of FOMO. Do I really want to sell these? How much more could they climb? And I know, on my end, I've certainly sold some things earlier than I wish I had, and then you go, okay, maybe I'm going to be a little more circumspect with that moving forward. But sometimes you got to sell something to be able to get into another card or pay the bills, whatever it might be.
These are cards that I get cards shipped. Well, anyway, these are cards I kind of was like, maybe should have left them in the PWCC vault and I just could have sold them because I'm not, my heart's not into it. You mentioned that last night. I was excited. I was excited by it. I thought it was cool. And I do look at them. I do think it's cool, but I don't want to get to it. I love the sports cards way too much to diversify to this right now.
Yeah. The last, there was one that looked a little cooler than the others to me. I think it was the last one you showed.
This guy.
I'm not sure if that was the one. Maybe it was.
Could have been this guy.
Yeah, that one. For some reason, that one kind of jumped out at me as kind of cool. But I don't really know Pokemon myself, so
If you weren't here earlier, I showed these cards too. The Charmander. These are all the base. They're base set, so they're not shadowless. They're not first edition. They're just the base set. This guy Poliwrath. The Yanma. The Gyarados. I think that's how you say it. It's like a dragon. Alakazam. This guy is, I don't think they were allowed to make for several years because some person, a magician, I think, felt that they ripped off his identity for this character, and so they couldn't make it. And then he just, like, recently I heard signed a waiver or something, so they could. I don't know. Yam will know all about that. If Yam is still here with us, he'll know all about that. I'll leave the sticker on these in case they go back to PWCC to sell. And then the Venusaur. This is one of the better ones. And I did get in on them early, so it's not. This isn't going to bite me financially at all. So if I do sell them, when I sell them, or trade them, move them, whatever, I'm sure that I'll be just fine. And that'll be that. I went as far as watching one of the films, as I said earlier. Went as far as watching the movies, and my wife, she's like, "What are you?" She didn't believe I was watching it. I'm like, "I am. I go. I am. I'm studying. You know, I want to understand what this thing is. I want to learn what these characters are." So I watched the movie. It was actually not so bad. It was pretty good. It was a lot better than the original show that I watched as well. That was, half-hour episodes from, I guess, 1999 or 2000. And I watched 3 or 4 of them. It was like Ash is the kid, and he's going around trying to catch the monsters, the Pokemon. And I got like 2, 3 or 4 episodes, and that was it. I lost it. I couldn't do it. And that's what made me lose interest in the cards. I think that was the problem. So here's my advice to everybody. If you're out there buying Pokemon cards and you don't know what Pokemon is, maybe you're better off not learning really what it is. If you're someone who just got in recently and doesn't know about it, because I know there's other people that did that. Of course there are. I'm certainly not the only one that dipped his toes in it. Okay, more comments. Let's have a look. Man, Joe, are you okay to go for a few more minutes? 12. Let's say we go for an hour, 12 minutes.
Totally.
All right, let's go through some comments here. Got Sports, good to see you. Building, good to see you. Fleer Jordan PSA 9 on fire. I know. I've been watching that card. It's crazy. Ryan tells me Beckett will reslab it. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Josh, yes, some baseball. Let's have a look at that card again. These cards excite me so much. I'm literally losing my mind right now. Like the Noise Boys, like this card, Shaq. Come on.
Yeah, so cool. That is fire.
The Jordan, I missed out on the Jordan, but being able to buy one, it's just so expensive now to get into a Jordan. But this card, I mean, we'll get that slab issue fixed, but that card is, to me, one of the best inserts going for Crosby. I mean, it's the first year of Essentials. It's out of 13. This one's graded at 9.5.
Yeah, that's gotta be tough. Gotta be.
Love it. But I was gonna pull out the Griffey card because this to me is like my prize of 2020. I
look at the blue on that. It's just like there's something going on there. It's like the clouds, and just you get some purple, you get some blue. That's really cool. What is he rounding second there, you think?
Looks like it. Yeah, exactly. Or could he be? No, he's not sliding. He's looking off to his right.
He's moving. Whatever.
Yeah, he's moving. That's it. It's the image. It's the background, the way the blue, how it goes with his uniform, his sleeves, his helmet, the ruby foil. It's just stunning. Like I looked at this when this card was listed. I looked at it like every day for like minutes. Was just like, oh, and that of course drove me to want it more and more. Because I became obsessed with that card. I was. You know how you like a card and you let it gets by you and you don't get it. I'm like, this card, I'm getting it. I'm getting this damn card.
Getting it. And most of these, are you more in the habit of going the auction route, or most of those won in an auction with last minute bids, that kind of thing?
Snipes.
Yeah.
snipes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably 50-50. I do a fair amount of sort of best offering. There is something a little, the light of day. I can sort of see what it is. I can see what they're asking. I can check a few comps and then make a deliberate decision. Sometimes wonderful things can happen in auctions, and sometimes you can maybe get a little carried away. So I'm sure you're much more deliberate than I am, but yeah. You can definitely find some bargains on auctions, but you can also sometimes find yourself kind of getting drawn in, especially when there's a lot being offered at once, and you originally went in for one thing, and then you see these other things, and it's like, oh, that looks good too.
Oh, exactly. And then you can keep on. It can snowball on you. It just made me think. You find a card that someone's selling. You go to view their other items, and now you're like, oh no, all these awesome cards.
What am I going to do?
It's like add them to the cart. This card here, though, this was a card that was on eBay, but we did we made a deal communicating on eBay, and then I think he reset the buy it now for me, and I hit it. So it came down a bit on it, but yeah, it was a card that you sometimes there's I've learned over the years there's a card you want, you just have to get it. Sometimes you can't expect another one's going to come up. Sometimes they do. Often they do. Even cards down to 5. You can often get lucky and find a second copy. Sometimes you can find all 5 of them, never mind. But yeah, this card I was just super happy with. And these cards here, the Billy the Kids, again, if you're coming in and out and didn't see these earlier, but 1952 tops, look and see Billy the Kid, a PSA 6 and a PSA 8. I was targeting an 8.
Which one is the 8 and which one is the 6? I'm trying to
6, 8.
6, 8, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, I mean, just look at the centering. Yeah.
Totally.
The 6 is like, actually, it was decent centering, top to bottom, obviously off, but still but the print, the color, the image, the background, everything about this card.
Got his little nameplate going.
What's that? Sorry?
He's got his little 5 o'clock shadow going, or, Western scruff.
And look what he's an outlaw.
Yeah. That's his professional career.
That's his position. His position is outlaw.
Bandit.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's
such a cool card. Oh, I think those are so cool. So cool. All right. A few more comments. Where are we at? We got about 7 minutes to keep it to an hour. Yes. Thank you. Okay. I keep on. Where are we at here? Pretty solid mail days from Troy. There we had that. Baseball, nice pick. I'm just going to click through them, guys. I'm just going to click through them. Danbury Mint looks to be a 50 card set, anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks. Probably was a subscription set. All right. Thank you, Royals 417. Cards probably came 1 to 2 per month. Okay. Name on front is likely the original owner. Interesting. That's kind of neat. How do you fellas store slabs in graded card boxes, the white cardboard boxes that are made for slabs? That's how I do it. Generally speaking, thank you. Ask your guest, Jerry Rice rookie card. Undervalued, very tough to get. PSA 10, one of the GOATs. I mean, that card has climbed like a lot, but what do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I had so much opportunity to grab that card back in the day that I'm a little trigger shy myself. But obviously, I mean, I'm a huge Jerry Rice fan. Jerry Rice, to me, is up there with the greatest football players of all time. So, yeah. I'm not going to say anything negative about Jerry Rice ever.
He had a PMG red sell today so out of 150 or out of 135, because there'd be 15 greens from 1997, sold tonight at auction for I think it was it $18,000, something like that? Like big dough. Who are you talking about? That was 15 minutes ago. I have no idea, Dirk Diggler, but welcome to the show. Love that movie character. To find in high grade. Side note, what platform for watching helps you out the most, Jeremy? If you're talking about for viewers of this show, watching, I prefer people watch on YouTube. Yeah, just keeps it simpler. Jordan, Jeremy, have you considered doing an episode where you show your favorite cards from your collection? They're all my favorites. I have so many favorites in my collection. So yes and no. But look and see has a Ruth. Yes, it does. No, I have a Ruth in my collection, and I I don't need the look and see copy. For me, I don't want the athletes in it. I want the non-athletes for cards that I pick up from look and see. I have two, like I said, Billy the Kid and the Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth.
Sean Robb, do you have any desire to start the other Topps basketball sets of the 70s? I do not. I do not have that desire at all. I'm, for those years, for all sports, I collect the rookie cards. That's what of the players that I want. Most of whom are going to be Hall of Famers. Josh Jerez, I must have the wrong day job because I can't imagine paying $2,400 for 3 cards. That lone one. Fair enough, man. Yep, the Magician had a lawsuit with them over it. Oh yeah, that's the Alakazam. Pokemon movies were banging back in my day. Yeah, that first one, that Mewtwo, the Mewtwo, the Return or Revenge of Mewtwo, something like that, was a fun little movie. It was. I didn't ever want to be like, oh, get me out of this thing. I watched it happily, but when I went back and watched those original episodes, I was, this is a snoozer. This is for kids. That was kind of where I was when I kind of felt like the "this is for kids" thing. I kind of thought I wasn't into it. Okay, Josh, grew up on them. Card art, congrats. Bourque is exceptional in the right color. Export, yes, it's an export. It's the U.S. version. You'd be under an hour. When I find a pic of a Star Ruby sheet again, Jeremy, I'll send you. Oh, that's cool. Did you ever or do you have a Lemieux Opeachy rookie PSA 10? I do not, and no, I never have, Peter. I never have. But I know you could have bought that card for like $8,000 2 years ago. I mean, it was up to 20 at one point. Then it came back to like it was 8, went up to 15, went to 20, came back to like 8, 9, and now it's just gone through the roof. There was a point in time Brian Gray had like half the population of those. Make sure to hit that like button. Thank you, Got Sports. He's sliding into second, watching to see if cutoff misses the ball. Perfect explanation on the Griffey card. Hydrate. Good point. Daniel in the house. Yes, I've seen what's been going on with the Jeter SP. The PSA 9s have gone from like $6 or $7 to 15. Like really recently. Jeter. I was there when he did the flip to, throw what was it, Jeremy Giambi out at the plate. The famous Jeter toss in the playoff series that took days down. Jeter. Charles, congrats on yes, guys. We hit 2,000 subscribers for the channel live last night. That was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody. LOL. What year was Jerry Rice rookie card? That's 86.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
86. Oh, there it is. 86. I'm so upset I missed a PMG, Dan Murray. Yes, there were some nice PMGs that ended tonight. Some very nice ones. Jerry, yeah. Rounding the corners with Darren says Jordan seems extremely hot right now. Magic next to get white hot. I hear people talking about Magic and Bird. I do hear that. Jeremy Giambi. Nice slide. Awesome. What's your YouTube so I can follow you on there and not just Facebook? It is Sports Cards Live. We need a Jeremy Lee PMG. Down for that. Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be down for their own PMG?
Would you be a red or a green?
Both.
Yeah.
Got to get both.
Yeah.
10 of one, 90 of the other.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, there is such an influx of money into goats right now. I wonder what the next movement in the market is. I mean, it could just be goats and more goats and more goats. But there seems to be these interesting reactions to wherever the movement is that has some kind of new the Zig to the Zag, the Zag to the Zig. So I'm curious to see once the goats get saturated, will people go back to rookie cards? I mean, I'm sure they are in rookie cards, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like where is the new angle, so to speak.
Yeah, that's the question that everybody wants to know. How do you stay ahead of the game? And I don't want to say I'm running out of ideas, but you know, as I pick up that Ray Bourque card, even as I pick up these Billy the Kids, like I don't need many more than 2 of these. You know what I mean? I'm quite. I only picked up the 6 first because I hadn't seen a nice graded copy in any grade, and I looked at the 6 and like that's really nice. I'm like, I'm happy with that for my collection. I'll take that. And then the 8 came up like right after. Like, oh well, that's nicer. Like this was $50. This was like $100.
Yeah, I definitely have a few of those sort of twins where it's like I see it, I get excited by it, and then literally like a day later, it's like another one comes up that's, you know, maybe equally or better condition or price, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go double, and then you know you got 2, and
yeah. So that collection that I showed, the binders that came in, there's also a 4-row box filled with cards. That wasn't it. That was the kind of the bulk, if you will. But there was also a bunch of Michael Jordan cards, like 200, maybe 250, and some base cards, some baseball cards, Jordans. But I did go through and pick out 10 that I'm like, okay, those 10 are what so I'll show you these cards too, because they're new and I'm showing cards tonight. So there is and I'm not even sure what years these are all from, but I can't even see. It's too small. Can't even read what year. 1996, I think. This is the Stadium Club Beam Team. It's really actually a cool card. And it's not a card that I'd ever seen before. Somebody pointed it out to me and said, that's a Beam Team. I said, oh, really? I didn't even know. To me, I'd only seen that other Beam from the other year that they did them where they got the Shaq rookie. Yeah,
no, that's nice with the purple foil there.
Yeah, totally cool. Totally a cool card. So I got that one. There's this. This is the... it's a base card, Topps base card, but it's got this special stamp on it. I don't even know what it says, and it's got Dennis Rodman as well on there.
Oh yeah. God, I feel like I was just looking at that around somebody or another, but yeah, cool extra stamp action going.
Yeah, this is the Star 101, but it's a Topps reprint.
The reprint, yeah. I actually have one of those slabbed in a BGS 9.5, I think, or something crazy. But if you can't have the real thing,
yeah. Hey, it came, and I looked up what they're selling for, and it wasn't chump change. I mean, it was, it was $40 or $50, $60, something like that. It's like, well, that's not a 25-cent card. It's not a dollar card. That's $40. This card here, this is called the Holding Court. It's a Topps. Must be from Topps Chrome, but it's got still has the layering on there. The
beautiful
coating.
Yeah.
None of it is over his face or his head, which is really cool. I always, if you're ever, if I'm ever acquiring a card that has coating on it, I don't want the face of the player to be obscured by it.
Right.
That's pretty cool. The Round Ball Royalty. This is a really cool card.
Yeah.
Really neat. This was a 10-card stack. This is a Topps Finest. It's a wicked looking card. It's purple.
Oh yeah.
So the other side is a rookie card of a player by the name of Jason Caffey. So
yeah.
Dual-sided card.
He was on the Warriors for a little bit. What is that, like roughly 94-ish?
I don't know, man. I have to
down the fine print.
This is, oh wait, I got light on it here. Oh no, that's not where the date is. The date's here. This is 19. I think it says 96. I think it says 96 on it. It's so small, man. I'm going to pull up my loop and have a look.
They did a lot of those sort of, reverse and front, 2-player models back then.
It's 96. Yeah. This is a really cool card. Has the coating on it. Face is not obscured by it. The Finest. This is from,
yeah, those have those are good pulls there for coming out of a box without. Yeah,
nice. 96 as well. Super nice.
Yeah,
super nice card. This card, I see this a ton graded. You see them for sale all the time, but it's mint condition.
Yeah.
Really cool looking card. It's part of, I guess, a 3-card little set where you put the full card in the middle and then another one that curves off the other way.
Yep.
In terms of the die cut. Yeah, really cool card. This is a wicked looking card. The Topps active leader for steals. Just got a really neat technology going on there.
Yeah. No, I mean, these are probably, you know, low to mid level kind of inserts, but they present spectacularly for, you know, what they're valued at. And if you're interested in some Jordan stuff, this is not a bad way to go.
No. I think some of them are just base cards even.
Yeah.
That's from 96 as well. I think I just saw 96. No, 94.
Super cool. Yeah. That technology too. I think I was listening to House of Jordans. They were maybe talking a little bit about just all that went into the actual creation of some of those early Topps Chrome cards that have that kind of weird, I don't know, patina or something. I don't know.
Oh, I wonder if it's got anything to do with the greening that's happened on some of the Chrome cards. The Kobe's notorious for it.
Yeah,
it might be the only card. I don't know if it happens to other cards in that set or not. You'd have to think it would, but I'm not familiar with any other cards from that set that have. Not sure. Okay, well we're going here. We're going over an hour now. Joe, why not? Right? Why? Hey, Darcy's in the house. Welcome, my man. Good to see you. I think he's driving right now. Does the hobby move to rookies and goats only? Average middling players are no longer desirable. It's a good question. Good question. What's the answer to that? Here's the answer. You know, mainstream wise, yes. What you're gonna see in you know, the headlines, yes. But there is a whole network of collectors. I don't want to call it an underground because it's not an underground. These are the basic hobbyists who collect players and teams, and that's all they collect. They collect sets. They're not, you know, they know what's going on, but they're not going anywhere. Like, they're going to keep on collecting those cards and keeping that layer of the foundation in place within the hobby. But I think what you're going to hear about is obviously going to be the GOAT sales, because that's what the big money is going towards for the most part. Makes sense? I think. I mean, I made it up as I was going along, but I think that makes sense.
No, I mean, I think you've got team collectors, you got player collectors. I always think of Sholey, who's got the Jay Crowder collection of, you know, I mean, and what that allows you to do when you get real deep on a particular player that may not be, you know, an elite player, is you can go into all sorts of nooks and crannies in the hobby and kind of explore it in a different way, you know, with some depth and some really rare cards that won't break the bank. So I think the middle area is always going to be where people who, you know, truly love sports or have a connection with the actual, you know, teams are going to find themselves. And there's a lot of wonderful opportunities there.
100%, man. That's you know, there's so many approaches to this hobby, so many different ways to do it. And it just seems like a lot of the focus right now is on, we get into this every Saturday with you know, we always talk about this, so don't need to get too in depth about this again. Right? I don't think. What do you think? I don't think so. Do you want to go deep? Go deep? I mean, we can.
Yeah. I mean, I'm stoked on your Noise Boys card. I'm still kind of going, I got to find a Noise Boys before, you know, whatever it is. If it's Shaq, if it's not going to be Jordan, but maybe it could be somebody. And then, you know, I'm not, you know, that 80 Topps thing just across the board, whether it's, you know, a high-end rookie card or even some of the other ones. I'm kind of curious just to explore that with the Topps, the puck, right? The black puck
for that year. Well, that's only that year, right? They only did that, as I guess, you know, in 1980. But as far as like exploring that for other Topps cards, like, they look the same, you know, the stock's different, but the cards look the same. So if you're a collector and you want a Steve Yzerman rookie card and you want a high grade and you don't want to pay O-Pee-Chee prices, the Topps is a good option. Why? The Patrick Waugh, same thing would go. Any of them, you know.
Yeah. I have a question on you know, from 79 on with those top and O-Pee-Chee hockey cards. Are there typically all-star variations on all the all-stars? Are there like 2 Gretzkys from 80 forward, or are there just certain years that they have all-stars?
There's more than 2. There's a lot in several, like 80, 81. I don't know the numbers, but there's there's team leaders, record breakers, highlights, actions, super actions, inactions. Like there's lots of different stickers some years, lots of different subset cards within the base set that Gretzky's featured in. Yeah, there's lots of options. Like I've got raw stacks of cards like that. They're not in great shape. They're not gradable, but there's tons of that out there.
Yeah. Stack of Gretzky's, can't go wrong with that for whatever condition.
Yeah, but the thing is, they've always been. You're like, seriously, around here, you're lucky to sell them if you can. If you're set up at a card show, they're $5 cards unless they're really nice. I'm talking about like ones that would probably grade out at PSA 2s to 6s in that range.
Yep. I mean, somebody mentioned the Rice, rookie a while back, and I can kind of remember that card trading in the the 50 to 100 range for years. It seemed like, and you knew it was a good card, but it just wasn't all that exciting because you saw it around so much. And now here we are, and it's like, yeah.
A couple things with that card. Number one, the edges. And the edges are condition sensitive with the red and the stripes going through it, the green and the red. And then looking at the card, when you're trying to look at the centering on that card, you tell me if you've ever gotten dizzy trying to figure out the centering on it because of the way the design has those angled bars going through it all over. Yeah, the lines going through it, like boom, like it's hard to gauge the centering on that card sometimes.
Vertigo.
Yeah, it makes you dizzy. Brandon's been picking up a lot of Ja Morant, 94 on one of those Jordan cards, Hall of Fame stamp on the Jordan. Thank you, Kickdown. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that card at all, but I did search it on eBay to see if it was worth anything, and it was, by like, I don't know, 30 to 60, 70 bucks, most of those cards. A couple of them, that purple one, the dual-sided card with that coffee rookie or whatever, that card is sells for like $90, $100. I was surprised because I got into that collection pretty good. Basketball Hall of Fame stamp. Yes. What do you guys think about defenseman cards going up in hockey? Hope it happens. Some of them are just they're just worthy. All those MJs have some value for sure. Yeah, I agree. I looked at some of them up. So several of them I did. Like literally there's a stack like this of and they're not in any top loads or anything, just like cards. And they're probably like $1 to $5 cards. I have to think maybe a couple that would be a bit more in there, but
well, you showed me those boxing cards, the Joe Louis and forgetting, was it
Jackson
and what was his name, the guy that fought Muhammad Ali? I'm
going to look. It was Jackson, I think, or Johnson or Jackson.
Yeah, Jack Johnson, maybe Joe Louis, and then God, why am I forgetting it? It was
Rocky Marciano.
No, well, that would be nice, but no, there was someone. You had Larry Holmes. Was it Larry Holmes or George Foreman? It was someone that had fought Ali in the 70s that I was impressed with. But anyway, yeah, you grabbed a few of those. I think they were slabbed too.
It was the Jack Johnson 1938 Churchman and the and then it was also the Joe Louis 1937 Ardath photo cards, it's called.
I think that's a serious market to look into, those older cards. I mean, I don't think very many people know about them. I don't know about them, and you pulled them out and I'm like, whoa, that's.
I didn't know about them until I found them in this collection that I've managed to purchase.
Yep.
Yeah. Didn't know about them either. Didn't even know about them when I looked at the collection. I hadn't even looked at that box yet. I fell into a collection basically, and it was a great collection. And I was like 3/4 of the way looking at them. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it for that price. That'll work. And then I got back and I found cards that I hadn't even seen yet. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it was a good deal. And it was a guy who knew. No, it wasn't a guy who didn't know his stuff. It was a guy who knew his stuff and just had to get out of the cards. Great Jordan, finest choices. Can't go wrong with those. Thank you. It happens to tons of them. Greening was a problem with that early issue. Bowman, best baseball. Oh, Carlos knows. Thanks, man. Appreciate that information. A bunch of the cards get the green on them. They call it hulking. Yes, I've heard of hulking. Set collectors still exist as well, just not in the same numbers. True that. Any forecast of more major celeb-infused events like the Vegas Dave Coffee Breakers 86 Fleer box break? Nothing on my radar at this point in time. Well, no, there's one. The guys from Center Ice Cardcast are dropping a podcast where they're breaking a box of the Vezina collection from President's Choice Trading Cards, and they are doing it with Brian Price, the owner of President's Choice Trading Cards. So that's that's not going to be like a Vegas Dave thing, but there's that. Would you send thick cards like Future Watch Auto Patches to PSA? I can't decide if I like or not graded thick cards. Yeah, I've been resistant to it myself. They take up so much more room in your boxes. Those slabs, the slabs just aren't, optimal at this point, I'd say, for graded for thick cards. Thoughts, Joe? You have any graded thick cards?
Yeah, I have a few, and I think it's standard. You maybe go in the direction of BGS on those, but yeah, I don't. It sort of depends on the card, and if I'm fired up enough to get it slabbed just because I want to feature it. Otherwise, not so much.
Yeah. And one of the problems with a lot of them is that the corners are tough on those thick cards. You don't have 4 corners anymore. You have 8 corners. I mean, I guess you could say we've always had 8 corners, always, even on the skinniest card, because you have front and back, right? But there's just less material to work with. Here you have distinct corners, like 3-way corners on those on those cards.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can get a 7.5 back pretty easily on some of those. So then it's like, well, is that really making you feel better about the card?
No, at that point you want to break it out because the white Beckett label just isn't quite as attractive as the silver. I'd like to see them all be silver. Why not? Yeah.
Maybe 8 and up. I know it's that 8.5. If you can just get that 8.5, you get the silver, and just it's night and day between the 8 that's like you got the white label.
Yeah, I'll show these again because these are really cool.
Yeah, the Vince and oh yeah, I'd forgotten about the Brett. Yeah, those are any other mail day, those are going to be like just sitting goo goo gaga with those guys.
Well, and the only reason why they're I don't know why they're not. I guess they're more plentiful than jambalayas, but everything else about them is very similar. Like all the technology is very similar. It's the same.
Yeah. Well, especially the Carter. I mean, maybe if I saw the blue in person, but the way the Carter's set up, it definitely has that influence. And you're up there in Canada. I'm sure you've probably got a few Vince Carters up your sleeve.
I have a few. Yeah. And yeah, like this speaks also to there are still, I believe these are opportunity cards. So that's what I believe, and here, full disclosure, these are the only 2 I own for now. I'm not saying I won't buy anymore. I might, you never know, but these are the only 2 I own right now. And I think there's an opportunity in these because they're so cool.
Well, another way to look at it as well, I mean, even outside of the player that they're representing or whatever value, it's kind of like a moment in the hobby where they're innovating in a really cool way, right? So you've kind of got a moment of the hobby journey, and I'm pretty sure, like, I was listening to somebody talking about, like, yeah, you can't really forge those cards because the technology involved in creating them was so precise and specific to kind of that moment. And then afterwards it's like, good luck, getting one of those to come out of the forge again. So yeah,
exactly. They're die cut, which is awesome. As Bobby says, no corner issues. Well, this one does have 2 corners. Graded them like I'm mint 9. I remember back in the day, mint condition was all you ever wanted, right? That's all you needed back in the 80s was mint condition. 80s, early 90s. And then this card is a 9. I can tell the centering top to bottom. It's got a pretty thin black border at the top.
Yeah.
Versus the bottom is, 3-4 times as thick, I'd say. But still, I mean, just a great card. And I don't even remember what I paid for this, but it was under $100. I'm sure it was under $100.
Nice.
For a card like that?
Yeah.
And the Brett Favre was probably even less. Not under 0, but even less than the
Can you read
the Brett Favre was numbered to 100, so it could have been more. It could have been a bit more.
Can you read the Carter issue again? Can you remind me what the name of that is?
It's the 1999 Skybox E-X.
Okay.
And then it's called the E-Exceptional is the name of the insert. Cool. Come on, focus on there. Good enough. Good enough. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple that I've just been looking forward to for so long. So and I keep on looking at them and I keep on like losing where I'm at. Because I'm so excited about this card.
Crosby.
Look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at that card. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I apologize. If it's just me, I apologize if this is boring to you. But I'm like just right.
Yeah, just the familiarity of that little EX right there in the center left or right, whatever it is.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the brand equity.
And then the kind of you say it's green or emerald, or is it gold? Because it kind of looks gold on camera here.
Here, I'll let me do this. Let me put a piece of white paper behind it and see if that helps. Because it's green, but I want you to see it because it's a nice green. Does that help?
Yeah, that shifts the color a bit. Yeah,
that's I can see. That is the color. That's right. Yeah, that's the color. What the picture that the guy had up of this card, it looked purple. It looked like the base card. So this card, I think this year they did a base that was just clear. I think so. Someone correct me on that. I might be wrong. I know they did it in one of the later years for Essential Credentials, but it looked like one of the colors that they use for the base in these Essential Credentials in one year or another. So I think maybe that is why no one else made a play at it. They didn't think it was the actual green version, which is, he has the orange version, as I said earlier, out of 87, which I also have in a BGS 9.5. So these are going to look really nice together. Oof. I keep showing the same card. I'm just so excited.
Yeah, that's a beaut. It kind of shimmers between that gold, green, the kind of, depending on how you angle it on the camera, at least. Yeah. I found with the paper behind it, you got a much better representation of what it looks like when it's in hand. And then, of course, what is likely, possibly the nicest the nicest Topps Ray Bourque rookie on the planet, the nicest one, because it's a Pop 7. And in the opinion of PWCC, I know it's somewhat controversial sometimes. Yep.
They say it's in the top 15%, which implies that they've either seen all 7 or they've seen the majority of the 7, which they've then been able to, extrapolate towards the whole population and say it's most likely the nicest one. If this is in the top 15% and there's a Pop 7, that makes it the nicest one. So I'm the proud owner of that. Like, that's pretty darn cool if their assessment is factually correct. And the only way to ever figure that out would be to line up all 7 of them and have like a committee look at them and, come to some consensus somehow, which will never happen.
It's interesting with the, what do they call it? The lighthouse, the little, newer PSA label.
Yeah, that little guy there.
Yeah, do you know when that sort of innovation came in? Because that's a quick way to sort of have a sense of when the card might have been graded, if it's pre or post that.
I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't that long ago. It was probably 2 to 3 to 4 years ago in there.
I was kind of thinking like 2.5, maybe.
You can tell by Yeah, you can tell by the serial number. They have them starting in the high twos, like the 2.7s, 2.8 serial numbers. I've seen them as low as that. This is 4.7, so not as old.
Interesting. Yeah.
This is that jersey number Dale Hawerchuk that I had picked up for my Hawerchuk collection, which I don't add many cards to anymore, but this was certainly worthy of addition. Jersey numbered out of 10.
On card?
On card auto, jersey numbered 10 of 49. 49 copies, but there's a 3-color patch from the logo of the Winnipeg Jets jersey, the Jets 1.0.
It doesn't happen very much anymore, but occasionally, and certainly more in the past, you would come across those jersey number serial numbers that weren't advertised as such, and you'd be like, wait, does anyone else notice this? And then it's like, okay, I don't know, but the seller doesn't know. So if it's an auction, you're just kind of hoping that it didn't attract too much attention, and maybe you get lucky.
Yeah. I just noticed we have Seb's comment up. So whatever we just talked about all segued from this comment that's on screen right now. That's how far off track we got there, Joe.
Yeah.
All right. Jay Sutt, I just picked up Federer and Cassius Clay. Cool. Olympic cards from the other day. Saw some on Sport Lots earlier today. Take your pick from most of 18 cents each. Got it for most of the set. David Schumann, welcome. It's not like Vegas Dave thing, but Vintage broke some vintage packs with Dominique Wilkins not that long ago. It's a fun watch. Yeah, for sure. Watching packs of 86 Fleer get broken is always going to be fun if that's the vintage you're referring to. Darcy, mid-end inserts is the future of the hobby. Affordable rareness. It's pretty exciting time for the hobby. All inserts from low end to high end, all sports I have seen quite a right. I'm with you, man. Darcy and I go way back, and we both love the insert. No doubt. Kick down, man. Why didn't BGS ever do a bronze label instead of white? Yeah, that'd be cool. That would have been better, right? That would have been better. Foil too. Same vendor. Has Dr. Beckett expressed that ever? I don't ever remember that coming up.
I think I have a recollection of early BVG having a bronze label, and I'm forgetting if it was actually what they went with on the mints, but I have a few like BVG, very early BVG, like 7s that are bronze, and then they did away with it. And these are cards actually, apparently there was some sort of crisis at the Beckett areas where they're maybe like, I don't know how many it went to. Maybe their first 20,000 cards got wiped off the computer.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
And so I have like, maybe like 30 of my cards. And I put one up for sale once, and somebody was like, I think you might have a fake. And I'm like, no, I know it's not a fake. It came directly back to me from Dallas, Texas. And then that's when I learned about it. It's like, oh yeah, there was a catastrophe in the computer world, and they lost all of the records of all those early ones. So kind of weird.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate event to happen. No doubt about it. Darce, base cards are starting to be valuable, but inserts low to high are going to be great. Yes. How much will Tom Brady cards go up if he wins the Super Bowl this year? Will all his cards go up? His base cards are already up. I mean, I was thinking about that today when I saw him win. It's like, can they still go up? Like, can they go up more? I mean, that's a dumb question to ask about any card in the hobby right now, because the answer up until today for the last while has been yes. But can they go up more? Like, what's really the incremental value to the card by him going from his 6th to his 7th? I mean, going from 0 to 1 is huge for all athletes. Going from the championships, right? Going from 1 to 2 is like, that's awesome. 2 to 3, amazing, right? You're still killing it, getting noticed. 3 to 4, 4 to 5. It's like, at what point does it just get kind of like, okay, that's it. There's no more value to be gained by winning more championships. Where's that tipping point?
Yeah, I mean, that the term people are throwing around these days is it's baked into the price, right? And that's why you may actually see a dip, even when a good outcome occurs, because it's baked in so much that then the movement in the market, everybody's throwing theirs up there because they think it's the time to cash in, but it actually creates a surplus and the price actually comes down. So I have no idea with Brady. I mean, that's I do think it's I was kind of hoping for Aaron Rodgers, just growing up in Berkeley and being a Cal fan. I was partial to him, but seeing Mahomes versus Brady, that's pretty cool. The old Jedi versus the young Jedi. It's kind of a cool, compelling matchup for a Super Bowl.
It is that it's kind of optimal. I would have to think from a media standpoint in that. So how much would they go up? I don't know. I think there'd be a temporary bump for sure, and then I think they'll settle back down to where they probably were, or just get back along what would have been the normal trajectory had he retired at the end of last year.
Well, it'll be one of those uniform things too. I mean, if he wins a ring with the Buccaneers, there's going to be a lot of people wanting him in a Tampa Bay uniform. So
Right.
What cards exist out there, and the color blast, the new color blast and prism. There's a few things in some Buccaneers uniforms that'll probably get some pretty heavy attention.
But do you think there'll be an increased demand by Buccaneers fans or people that collect Buccaneers players to now I need his rookie card, and that will increase the value of the rookie card? Like, the gems of the investment pieces?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd say maybe a little, but
maybe 2 or 3 guys in Tampa want that card now.
It's so high already, but
like if you didn't already want a Brady rookie, like I think everybody wants a Brady rookie, unless you don't even know about football. But I mean, how much higher can it go? Great question, Darce. Lots to think about there. Let's keep going. No cornerware, which helps with those die-cut lenticulars for sure. Yeah, sorry, Seattle 420. I know I'm talking too much about these cards. That's the double-edged sword with doing it like this, right? And being able to talk to people and sharing the joy of a mail day, a long-awaited mail day. It's the Noise Boys. It's not a lenticular per se, as I can see it without really looking at it under the loop, but it does have a similar sort of texture to the gold in the Noise Boys. Like that effect that you're seeing is because of what I'm speaking of. Like it's really
that gold is just, it's like kind of liquid honey-esque.
Yes, well put. Oh, what a great card. Woo-wee. That's awesome. Okay, where were we here? Yep, sorry. I know. I think you beat me on the orange one today. What orange? Wasn't me on an orange one. No, it wasn't me. No, it wasn't me on the orange EX Crosby. I have 1 or 2 of those. I have one graded. I might have another one as well. Yes, the base for those is clear. So there is the base for that. I thought so. It isn't just you, or we wouldn't be here. I don't know what that is about, but if it's towards me, I appreciate that, Peter. Sounds like some good encouragement. Thank you. Base for all years are clear. Yeah, okay. They all have the tinting near the middle like that one. I think those PwC assessments are based on the characteristics of the grade. So in their experience, that card is in the top 15% of the PSA, of those 7 cards of the population, I believe. 10 grade. Did you win the orange? No, I did not.
A lot of concern about that orange.
I know. I know. I love it, guys. I love it. Beckett will reslab that and serial number those slabs for free for you, Joe. There you go. Get him back into the pop report. That makes a lot of sense. Rounding on the corners, bought my son a 2020 NFL Donruss factory set for Christmas. If these rookie QBs go off over the next year or two, would you recommend opening the set and grade the quarterbacks? I would. Yes, I would.
Herbert, Burrow. Yeah,
I would. You know what? Open it, see if they're grade worthy. And I don't know if you've seen them yet, and be careful taking them out, all that. But if they're grade worthy, if you think they're going to come back at 10, I don't know what 9s or 10s are worth of that stuff, but you do the math and you figure out if it's worthy. I think so. Turn my Insta to private. Right. That's probably smart. If you bid against Jeremy at the Seattle and more, you better bid higher than an Astro. Oh, if you Higher than an Astro bid. Yeah, if we're going after the same card. No, I don't Astro bid everything, just certain cards.
So wait, did that term just come out like last night on the show? Because I'd never heard that before, an Astro bid. Is that?
Yeah, it did. It did. I used that term a bunch of years ago, but in a different context. I used it I think I was Astro pricing because, I run a message board, Hobby Insider. I don't really run it. The moderators run it, but it's anyway, Hobby Insider. You have to have rules in these communities, right? So sure. One of the rules was just out of respect for each other, there's no Astro pricing. Like if comps are quite clearly $200, you cannot ask $1,000 for a card. You can't ask $750 for a card. If clearly you can see, you can buy them all day long for $200. So we kind of had a policy, and that was the term that I came up with to describe ridiculous pricing, was just astronomical, Astro pricing. So I just changed the context with that term yesterday, and I thought it applied.
Yeah, I mean, and I've been guilty of that on eBay from time to time when I'm not quite sure. I just want to get the card up, and I put it pretty high up. But usually, you're not doing yourself or anyone else any favors when you Astro price and then Astro bidding. Makes sense now. And then the other thing was the flick.
Flick, right. Well, the other thing with the Astro bidding is that if it works against you, either you don't win the card because someone out Astro'd you. So either you don't get it that way, or you don't win it, but now you want to buy the next copy. Well, now you just ran the comp up on yourself. So now you're going to have to. But if you were willing to pay that amount when you made that Astro bid, which every time I've done it, I would have paid my bill. Yep. So you're running the price up, but that's what it takes. Sometimes you want a card bad enough, you bid. Charles says also the flick was invented last night. I can't take original credit for that. That goes to Charles from Beckett. Different Charles, not this Charles. And I call bidding like that nuking from orbit. Yeah, bombing the bid, right? Bombing the bid. Sometimes it's a strategy that wins you a card if it's a card that you want to get. I'm looking through. Oh, I'm going to show you guys a couple more cards. PC pickups in the mail that have come recently straight to me. Just show you a couple of them I showed on Instagram. Speaking of jambalayas, here's two from 0809 EX Hockey, Jerome McGinley and Mark Messier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jambalaya.
My favorite year of them, too. I love the blue and the red together like that. Just so nice, no? Come on. Love those. And I picked this up from Player's Choice in Kelowna. This is a 2017-18 Upper Deck Premier Collection base card of Nathan McKinnon out of 249. Nathan McKinnon base card from 2017 Upper Deck Premier out of 249. Oh, but wait, it's 29 of 249. So it's jersey numbered. That's why I picked it up. Jersey numbered. And then this guy, Mike at Eastridge here locally, had this walk into his store and he knew I collected them. So he grabbed it for me. 2011-12, the Cup base patch parallel out of 10 of Bobby Ryan. No longer with the Ducks. He's moved on, but these are cool. And they're, this is a common. It was $20 type of thing. But cool card. I've got almost 300 cards from this PC that I have. And then two of my favorite cards, two cards for one of my favorite things I collect. This is I collect these 2014-15 Upper Deck masterpieces hockey. There were several parallels. These ones were called the Black Framed Leather Prime Memorabilia. Black Framed Leather Prime Memorabilia. And there's several different types of memorabilia. You get sticks, patches. There's even a sock card, like all sorts of different memorabilia. So I picked up, and I have this 153 cards in the set. Okay, I'll show the first one. Jaromir Jagr, stick piece, New Jersey Devils. He's played for lots of teams. There's a group of fans that traveled when he was playing in the NHL. They would travel from stadium to stadium, arena to arena to watch him play, and they would each dress up as a different with his jersey from a different team. So there were, as he got traded from team to team, their group got bigger because they needed more people to fill the jerseys. And they were called the traveling Jagers. That's what they were called, like the traveling Wilburys. Anyway, the Jager. And then he came up earlier tonight, the Joe Pavelski. And with a beautiful small, like a nice small patch window, but lots of nice pieces in the set. So there's 153 cards in it. And I'm down to needing like 27, I think, is where I'm at. I've been chasing this set since 2015.
Wow. Yeah. That patch is super cool. The intricacy with the stitching.
Yeah, that's part of the Sharks logo right in your area. Well,
I gotta do my due diligence. I know people have been encouraging. It's like, come on, Joe, get on the Sharks bandwagon. I guess I'm a couple years late on that.
Yeah, now's not the best time. Yeah, Bobby Ryan is on fire right now. Yeah, I saw him score last night, I think it was, for sure. Oscar, I can't stop thinking of Newman from Seinfeld, the Soup Nazi episode on Jambalaya, right? No doubt. The traveling Jagers. That's it. Sick patch on the Pavelski. The big Pavelski. Yeah. The big Lebowski. Love it. Okay, man. Now I'm just kind of reaching for straws, looking at my desk, seeing what else. I do have one more stack of cards, but it's like, it's not going to be too exciting, I don't think. These are other. Two cards I'll show. So I know this is a card that it's a John Riggins. It's the Washington Redskins when they were still called the Washington Redskins. Mm-hmm. But this came in a box full of cards, and I pulled it. I thought that's a card I kind of think is neat because I want to show look at the patch on that. Look at the patch on that Redskins card.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's going to have some, I'd say, historical significance.
Right? Yeah, I thought so too. I thought what an interesting piece that is.
I haven't seen that issue either. Is that up the deck?
I cannot even. It's numbered 38 of 100. It's Don Russ. It's Don Russ. Yeah, Don Russ. Yeah, it's got the Players Association on there.
Wow.
It's from Don Russ Classics 2003. 2003 Don Russ Classics.
Wow. Yeah. One more time. That is. Wow. Yeah.
Now, John Riggins. I feel like I'm familiar with John Riggins. He was a star, no? Yeah.
All pro for at least a few years, pretty sure, and kind of a little more in the 70s, I believe. But yeah, so that patch is definitely old.
Yeah, I like this card. This isn't anything as special as that, but it's an Emmett Smith. It's numbered out of 250, a manufactured flag patch, but a nice enough card.
Right.
A nice enough card,
Yep.
And then it's like, here's just some more that this is cool. This is a Jerry Cheevers, Hall of Fame goaltender for the Boston Bruins. This is from Sweet Shot. Darcy, who's in the crowd, loves Sweet Shot. Endorsed equipment, numbered out of 25. Autograph on I think it's a piece of pad.
Okay. Yeah, Upper Deck did all varieties in both baseball and basketball with like Sweet Shot and piece of the basketball or piece of a baseball and signatures.
This is the card you were talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Larry Holmes.
Yeah.
I forgot because it's not for my PC. So I took it out that's why I wasn't even thinking about it.
I'll call you about that Larry Holmes later. Cause I think that, anyone that fought Muhammad Ali in my mind, and obviously Muhammad Ali, but the whole, Joe Frazier, Larry Holmes, George Foreman, who was the guy, Buster Douglas. Yeah. I think all of that is just really interesting lore and times back when, heavyweight boxing was the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. There was no MMA, no UFC. 3 Clayton Kershaw rookies.
Oh, wow.
Bowman Chromes. One's a refractor of sorts or an X-fractor of sorts.
He finally got the monkey off his back with the World Series.
That's good timing, right? To have 3 of these fall into your lap.
No,
These are cool. I think they're cool. I looked them up. They're not worth a lot of money, which surprised me. But here's 3 UFC. Speaking of UFC, autographs. See them all. We got Lyoto Machida, who is actually a guy that I'm familiar with. We've got Randy Couture. He's a legend.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the legend of all legends is the Royce Gracie. Like these are all like they're not on card autos, but they're all autos.
Yeah. Did you tuck away those graded old boxing ones? The ones you did. Yeah, you tucked them
Jack
away.
Johnson and the Joe Louis. Yes, I'm keep those. Those went into my PC with zero cost base. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I'm keeping those. Couple more. Oh, here's the Lou Brock that came in that collection.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You know, it's these cards there. It's probably gonna, if it were to grade, the centering is actually really nice on this, but they're not. They're probably like 4s, I would guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just being conservative. Like this one's maybe maximum. The centering's not as good on the Gaylord Perry.
Gaylord, yeah. Yeah, no, those are I'd say condition sensitive issues with those wooden. Ooh, there Johnny you go.
Yeah, this card. I didn't even know this card. I didn't even know this card was in the collection until I went through it like the second time. Like it was just one of those.
Yeah,
I knew a guy who had a collection. I think the story was the guy that had it either was moving or had to maybe separating or something like that, divorcing type of thing. I'm not exactly sure. Had to move the cards. The guy we knew in common called me and I was like, he sent me some pictures. I was like, it didn't look great because I saw those gold cards. I'm like, that looks like junk. I go, how much is it? He tells me, I go, I'll come look at it on Sunday. Go look at it. I'm like 3/4 of the way through. I'm like, yeah, I'll take. Didn't even negotiate. It was a fair price. It was a fair price. It was a good price. So that's why those 2 boxing cards go into my personal collection now with zero cost base, which is always nice. Speaking of other Gretzkys, because that came up earlier, like here's an extra Gretzky from the 84-85 set.
Nice.
Record breaker. This, and usually I wouldn't even put these aside and put them in a top loader, but it's in such good condition that I did. This is cool. This is the Steve Yzerman rookie year, but not the rookie card. Someone just asked me if I thought the Mario Lemieux rookie scoring leaders card that's also in the rookie base in his rookie year's base set, but isn't his rookie card, is like an interesting, opportunity right now. Maybe something that's underappreciated. And I don't know the answer. I prefer the second year card to a tertiary first year card, but maybe other people will think so. And so this card, this Yzerman rookie year, extra card, it's card number 385 in the set out of a 309. You got to go to bed, man. I just realized you're getting tired. No?
Good. I was just going to say, my whole collecting life, I've wanted, the tertiary card to be worth more. And you're right. I mean, I don't know if you're right, but your thinking has actually proved to be correct in so much as it's always the main card, so the second year main card. And I've like whack-a-mole, like, oh no, this all-star version's got to be worth, but
yeah. What is that? What is that ratio, right? What is it? Interesting. Couple of Gretzky base cards from, early on. 82. 82 is this one. A PSA 10 just sold for $7,500 of this card. A Rising. PSA 10. Right. This is the 84-85 from the Yzerman year. Yeah. Vegas Finds, Chris, good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the show. Where do we leave off on comments up here? See what we've missed. Anything going on here, guys? Sorry, I haven't been. I'm not on my game tonight, like I am on a Saturday. This is Sunday night, fellas. You're seeing me not on my game tonight. I hope it's okay. I hope it's okay. Bobby Ryan on fire. I can't stop thinking about Newman, the traveling Jaggers, sick patch, the big Pavelski. Are you? Here we go, Peter. Are you picky on the patch streamer or just first one that comes up when you're this deep into the set? Good question, Pete. At this point, I will take pretty much whatever I can find, and then I'll upgrade from there. At this point, if it's an all, yeah, I guess I would. They did a good job. There's a lot of nice pieces in there. Are the sock pieces game used? I wonder. Probably. It's just one. It's a Flyers piece. It might be Bernie Parent. It might be the Bernie Parent, the goaltender. It might be his card that's a sock piece, or it's Pelle Lindbergh actually. No, it's Pelle Lindbergh from the Philadelphia Flyers, who tragically died in a car accident like 2 years into his career and was on the trajectory of being like an all-time goalie. Yeah. Seb, do you only chase the star players from those cool insert sets? Yes, Seb, only star players. Yes, only. I do not try to complete them. I do not buy cards of common players that I don't care about just because they're in a set that I like. Unless the set is 12 cards and I like 11 of the players, I may pick up card 12 just because they threw, Jim Carrey or Blaine Locker into the set or someone like that, Eric Daze might be the guy, so you pick it up way back in the day. He didn't play the cheating trash stros again, Joe. That's there you go. UFC stuff is stupid cheap unless it's a select few people. Good to know. Yes, he did. Chris in the house. Bring back Sweet Shot, please. Darce loves Sweet Shot. Do you have any racing soccer cards? I have one soccer card. Peeps, hey pals, hey peeps. Bobby, the secondary rookie cards should be worth much more. Certainly undervalued. Yeah, I mean, strong opinion from a very experienced and noble hobbyist. So that's gonna be my position. I think they are certainly undervalued. They're still rookie year. I love rookie year cards for modern. Sorry, Joe, I'm just babbling now. I love rookie year cards for modern stars. Not as much as a rookie card, I guess, but I like them a lot. Like cool inserts to me are just almost as important. I think they're really awesome. So why not in the 80s too?
Yeah. And I mean, there's always going to be a sort of market decision on what the card looks like and how attractive it is to the masses. I mean, it's hard to generalize that, this way or that way, but just on that cheating trash throws, I think that was a reference to Clayton Kershaw.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. I wasn't sure. You can probably tell. No, you're right. It's going to come down to even saying should be worth more. It's like what I think we mean by that when we say it, and because things are worth what they're worth because that's where the marketplace has put them, and that's the bottom line. But when we make comments like should be worth more, I think what we're saying is that we think the market just hasn't got there yet, but it's going to go in that direction.
Yeah,
and that's why I've made decisions on buying cards for many years, because I've wanted the cards. I think they're cool. And I think that, in certain cases you add that in. Are they going to go in the right direction?
So 61-62 Fleer basketball has the regular issue and then the inaction issue for a number of players, be it Jerry West, Bill Russell, whomever. And, that's one where, because that market has popped up so much, and, I got a few in before that happened, but I didn't get all the ones I wanted. I've leaned into the direction of, okay, like if I can't get a koozie regular, maybe I go in action. But again and again, if I go towards the regular, I'm always happier with the main card, even if it's 3x or 5x or whatever it ends up being. While I'm tempted to go for the inaction, it's one of those things. I don't know.
No, I do know. You do know. We do know. I think what I mean by that is, it's like if you're going to go for those secondary cards, they're secondary cards. You already have the first one, unless you're intending to get, and that's just the order you acquire them in. But, otherwise, you advance to wanting that card. And I think before you advance to wanting that card, you advance to many other cards in between until you get to where that card is at the top of your priority list, or something that you're going to choose to purchase at that point in time. Because, unless you only want 5 players from each sport, and then it's like, okay, great. Now I'll move on to their secondary card, but you're probably done with the rookie at that point.
Yeah. And I mean, there's some of its aesthetics. Like, I'm thinking of the Jerry West 61-62, which I had a beater in action, and then I finally came around, luckily, a while back to the regular West issue, which is just gorgeous. And in your mind, you're thinking, well, the same amount of number of cards printed in theory, and so why shouldn't it just be roughly close to it? But it's just not the way it is. And even now, breaking Prism Wax, you might have your NBA debut card, or some sort of off insert, and then there's the core Zion card. Although now I'll say the core Jaw card, because I think Jaw just surpassed Zion in base, which is kind of a big deal in the hobby. We'll see how that
plays. Yeah, for sure. Here's some more Jordans I got in that collection that I just are cards I'm not like gonna keep. They're gonna come to card shows with me when I can go to card shows again.
More Jordan,
more Jordan.
Just like it's like the Jordan collection. It's like the Black Swamp Jordan collection you got.
I'm telling you, there's 150 cards that aren't even worthy of pulling out. Like they're just the guy like Jordan. So that's a really cool base card. Really cool.
Skybox there.
Yeah, that's like
that's gorgeous. I mean,
that's an unevolved rubies right there. That's what I see.
Wow. Yeah. Unevolved rubies.
There's the 90s All-Star sticker from the Fleer set.
Just send that off and get a PSA 10 and take a vacation.
Yeah. First class. I didn't know what this card was. I've never seen it. I looked it up. Like this card sells for like $40-50. I thought that's pretty cool. I mean, it's got a very interesting foil here in the background in both of those little window like design elements. To sort of see, they kind of get a bit of a sense of that.
Yeah.
Kind of neat. Jam Masters. I just started watching a PSA 10 on eBay tonight to see what it sells for, so I can kind of understand what this card, where it fits. It's neat because it's got the red foil. It's really
it's like the Endless Cup, Jeremy. You showed me a few, and then it's like, wait, there's more.
There's more. Look at that. The top's gold. The base, the gold foil.
Oh yeah.
Then a pair of these SPX cards.
Remember those were pretty hot when they first came out. Everybody was like, "Whoa, mirrors!" and Funhouse.
I just can't. They're not my favorites. Not my favorites.
They didn't stand the test of time, I would say, but
yeah, there you go. Yeah, this has some red foil. UD3. I guess they did a set called UD3. I don't remember it myself. This is cool. It's got Scottie Pippen on it too. It's called Head to Head. Got the nice foil on the bottom. Fleer. Hoops. Oh, sorry, hoops. Yeah, 96 hoops. I thought right there that I'm looking right there in the camera like you are, and I thought I saw Fleer. What's this? I don't even know what this is called, but it was kind of a neat card. It's got a neat the stock has a neat texture to it, and of course, it's got some foil stamping on it, gold foil stamp, or maybe it's more bronze actually.
Yeah, tip of my tongue. Is it like? God, I want to say it's like one of those ultimate collection ones with, I don't know, NBA greats.
Here, let's see if I can read what it says in the foil. It's super hard. I can't even read it, and it's not even under the loop. But can I read it? Like it's player royalty or something. I don't know. I cannot make out what it says because it does right in the bottom here, right in the bottom of the stamp. Someone told us earlier what it was. I don't even remember what they said. This is the Profiles card by David Robinson. You see David Robinson's head in the corner, but it's a neat card. It's got the stock, the foily.
Yeah, I think I actually have that in my watch list right now. I was checking that one out. That's
kind of neat. Special edition, Upper Deck special edition card. Nice foil, but not something that I look at. I'm like, I need that in my collection.
Yeah.
And then two of these sold for way more than I thought they would. I forget what it is now, but I was like, whoa, like probably $40 or something. Two of these Topps Chrome they're actual checklists.
Cool. Well, any platinum portraits in there?
No, there was no platinum portraits. That would have been nice. There was an Evgeny Malkin. Talk about a slip up I made earlier tonight. There's an Evgeny Malkin rookie from SPX that was in this collection. The problem is it's got a crease. It's got a crease coming right down like that way, right down the window here.
From what I've seen, I appreciate this collector's tastes. Kind of some variety and some Jordan, some hoops, some hockey, good stuff, some boxing. Yeah, I
couldn't even ask questions because I got it.
Sometimes not to ask questions.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's a Michael Jordan action packed baseball. Kind of neat. And then there were these are good cards. Good cards. These are neat cards. They're from In the Game Between the Pipes. They're Greats of the Game autographs. So the Dominic Hasek autograph. I don't love the looks of these. I do the color that it's It's a green. It's a very unattractive green. But there's a Hasek autograph, a Grant Fuhr. Nice. Look at that helmet, huh? Look at that.
Yeah. Star Wars figure.
Patrick Waugh. And then Felix Potvin, who has like a cult type following. That's it. That was that last stack, man. I think I've taken up as much time. Oh, wow. We hit the 2-hour mark. We weren't even supposed to do a show tonight.
Well, hopefully everybody enjoyed it. I had fun.
Thanks man.
Thanks for your stuff. It's a good variety, you know, kind of up and down the ladder of you know, sports and values and scarcity, but across the board, you know, I think what we can agree on is there's just certain cards that are cool, and you know, regardless of like what they book for, if we still use that term, it's kind of cool to have them in your collection. You can pull them out, look at them, appreciate them.
Totally. Yeah, it is fun. It's like a show and tell sort of thing, which, you know, I don't do. I do a lot of, you know, live on screen video content, but never, very rarely, except for when I do card of the day, which is kind of fun, you know, show a card, which is somewhat of the same thing, but this is just an higher volume. What do we got? We'll go through the comments and then we'll sign off, guys. Oh man, I need that Lindbergh sock card. Yeah, they're tough to find, Charles. It might be one of the ones that's out of 15 even. Clearly, the Jordan rookie is epic, but am I alone in thinking the 88 Fleer All-Star card of his is his most iconic pose? I can't picture it, but just from what you just did, I think I understand what it looks like. Yeah, I'm sure it's beautiful.
He's flying.
With Darren Holm is flying through the air. Jeremy, what do you know about the upcoming Metal Universe? I know it's going to be awesome. That's what I know. It's pretty much what I know. It's going to be awesome, and I think it's going to be hard to get because I know that a lot of people think it's going to be awesome. Yeah, that card is awesome. Great show with Brad on Friday, by the way. Thank you, Rounding. Really appreciate that. Had a good time on Brad's show with him, and a great time with him last night on mine. We did a home and home series, Brad and I, Friday and Saturday night. How do you feel about parallels and not secondary? Yeah, different. I like different. It's different. Good question for another night. Ask it again, peeps. Please remember and ask it again. Got to let Joe go to bed. We're going to sign off here. Thoughts on the 09 Upper Deck Jordan Legacy set? I had an uncut sheet of that one time, and I gave it to my buddy Darcy, who was in the room several years ago. SP Championship looked like one of those chromes was hulking and the other wasn't. Could be. Grant Fuhr forever. Yes. Yep. Joe, cool shit is cool shit. Yeah, that came up the other day. Some host told us that once. Later, guys. See you later, Legion. Thanks, buddy. Great show. Thanks, Big Unit. Same to you, Dennis. Good night. My bedtime, too. Our bedtime, too. Got to go to work tomorrow. All right. Good night. I'm signing off. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you sticking with us and with me through a night where I wasn't exactly on my game. But thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you again. Special episode again Wednesday. It's going to be a fun one. See you then.